Hi there. Long time no see. I just left the quarter of initiation to finish to dissolve into the quarter of civilization, and now we can initiate the quarter of civilization. It's all about manifestation through form, and it's all about manifestation, as we can see. If we look at the body graph itself with all the gates of this quarter, we can see that all the gates of the throat are defined in this quarter. That means that everything is manifested here through form in matter. This is the yinest of all quarters, and it begins, of course, with a gate which is the yinest gate. The second gate, we know that every quarter begins with one of the Sphinx gates, so we are initiating this quarter with the Sphinx, with the cross of the Sphinx, right angle cross of the Sphinx, where the second gate, the receptive, is in the sun. And it's really interesting. If we look at it before we get into the gates, we already know that this is going to be melancholic week, creative week, with a lot of self-expression and a lot of directing and being directed. And if we surrender, if we sit in the back seat, then our very yinish driver will be directed to take us to the correct direction. So let's see, what are we going to experience this week? So first of all, the higher knowing, the gate of the higher knowing, the receptivity as the primal base through which any response is determined, the root of action. What that shows us is that we are really being directed. We don't know the direction. We have this part in us, which is the higher knowing, but we are not connected to it. This is deep inside of us in the G center, and this part of us knows where we are going, but it is not in control. It just knows where we are going. But we need to, our conscious part needs to surrender, need to be receptive, need to sit in the back seat and completely surrender to the trajectory that is unknown. We are talking about two individual gates from the inner column of the inner column of the power column. So we are talking about this little this thin golden line that goes between the 61st gate, the mystery in the head center, until the 60th gate, the limitation. And yes, the inner truth lies in the limitation, in the body, in the form, and the driver is the gate that begins this quarter of manifestation through form. So this is really, it shows, the body graph just shows all the mechanics. We can't fight it. All we can do is just relax into it and surrender to it. So this gate represents the root of action. Now, if we talk about the word action, we feel this is the most active gate. Yes, the word itself, action, but the root of action is actually being receptive, being in a wait, being in a wait, waiting, being receptive, sitting in the back seat, and then manifestation comes according to the type we are. It comes, the life initiates us this way or another, and all we have to do is respond or answer an invitation, or being driven to set things in motion, yes, or reflect the action that comes, because this is who we are. We are all receptive. And then we have the first gate, the creative, the gate of self-expression. creation as the primal force, the energy potential to manifest inspiration without limitation. So we have these two very, very opposite gates, but they're very, very different, but they can't exist without one another. This is the primal, these two primal forces, which are actually one, the yin and the yang, they are not separate, never, ever. So every receptive energy has the root of the creativity in it, and every creative energy has the root of this receptivity in it, and they can't be separated. And these two gates are the gates that are the center of the cross of the Sphinx, which is all about direction. And yes, we know that the drivers sit in the second gate, and the first gate is the one of the aspects of direction, which is the now. Yes, the being in the now. And when we look at this, it's so beautiful to see. We know that the G center is all about love and direction. And we know that love and direction are two aspects of one thing, again, as yin and yang. So the change, if life takes us to a certain direction, we meet our love there, or if we meet our love, this love takes us to a different direction. So this is always together, and it's so beautiful to see how the yin and yang plays their game or dances their dance from every angle we look at it. So we are all going to experience this direction, individual, mutative, creative direction. It doesn't matter if we have these gates in our design. What I came to realize is that we have everything in our experience, because we might not have these gates, but for now we are going to have them for 6 days. I mean, the energy is going to manifest through us, and all we have to do is be receptive, because the more receptive we are, the more correct the way these energies manifest through us and do what they need to do with us, and initiate us if we need to be initiated, or support our mutation or our self-expression or whatever. So we just need to be receptive. This is the bottom line: being receptive, being totally surrendered to the trajectory that our design knows. This is the higher knowing of our design. It knows where to go. It's not something we can be aware of, but we can participate by not interrupting and by being totally receptive. So we are welcoming the quarter of civilization with this amazing mutative direction that takes us to our form and puts the emphasis on the matter, on the earth, on form. So it all goes with things that lately I've been sharing with you this way or another: grounding and nutrition. It's all about the form, taking responsibility on the form in order for this higher creativity to be able to express itself in the best way. It's only if our form is well taken care of. So this is all, I think this energy of this quarter of civilization is the inspiration for us to take another step towards the well-being of our form now, here and now. Yes, the first gate, it's all about now. So now is the time to take the next step in the transcendence of our form. And then we are going to experience in a little after the beginning of this quarter, we are going to experience the logic, the channel of logic, a design of mental ease mixed with doubt. And the moon is going to be in the fourth gate, the gate of youthful folly. And what I've come what I've come to see these days looking at this channel is that really when it operates correctly, it is really a design of mental ease mixed with doubt. And this doubt is something that pushes us to inquire, to do research and to understand and get the answers for this inspiration of doubt. This doubt is a doubt of inspiration. So what I feel is that we have an opportunity to start looking at what the transits bring us as something, not self-conditioning that it can bring, but the balanced aspect and the higher aspect of these channels. And we are going to have a few this week. So let's begin with not falling as, not being misled and messed up by these logic thoughts, but maybe taking them as an inspiration and see the mental ease it can bring when we have the answer, when we have this logic way of thinking. It can really bring us some mental ease instead of just doubt and question and irrelevant question and pain, mental pain. So this is just a suggestion. Let's see where it takes us. And then in the fourth, we are going to experience the channel of the wavelength, a design of talents. What happens here is that Jupiter in his retrograde leaves the 57th gate and comes into the gate of depth, the well, the 48th gate. And this gate connects with Mars that sits in the gate of skills, enthusiasm. So we have this channel, the wavelength, a design of talent. This is also a logic channel, and it is all about this splenic depth and solutions and wisdom that combines with the way that it can manifest through the skills. So we are going to enjoy this a little bit too. And then in the sixth, we are going to experience the channel of mating, a design focused on reproduction. The moon is going to enter the sixth gate, the gate of conflict. And of course, the nodes are still in the 59th and the 55th. And they moved last week to the first line. So we are having now the foundation of, of the sexual strategies and of the gate of the spirit. But what I want to look at this time, we always talk about the sexuality aspect of this gate, and yes, it is about reproduction. But I know a few people who have this channel that they don't even have kids, but they are very, very productive and very creative, and they are really focused on this productivity of creative projects. So this is also a way to understand this beautiful channel. And also we can see that in this time we're going to have both the channel of talents and this channel of mating. So we are going to be engaged in an intimate way in creativity and in logic talents. So this is interesting combination to look at, and of course with the two very, very creative and mutative gates in the Sun Earth. So I think we're going to have a very, very interesting week. And then when these channels are gone in the 8th, we are going to have another taste of the channel of transformation, as we have every month, because Pluto is there to stay. The Marian Maiden is pushing. She is very driven. She has a design of being driven. And the moon is in the gate of continuity, duration. So this is also a reminder for us for this year that has this blueprint of transformation. So I just want to talk a few words about this quarter of civilization from another point of view that I saw. If we look at these 4 quarters, and we see the first two lines of every hexagram that connects all the 16 hexagrams of one quarter, we actually see the yin and the yang. Yes, the civilization is the yinest quarter, transformation is the youngest, and the two others are a reflection of one another. And every of these quarters is connected to one of the aura types. And we can see that the quarter of civilization is connected with the generator, and the generator is really the pure yin type. And if we talk about this, if we look at what does it mean to manifest for a generator, what does it mean to manifest at all? If we saw that the beginning of this quarter is the yiniest hexagram, receptivity, which this is the root of all action. So this receptivity is the root of all manifestation. And if we look at the symbol of this quarter, which is the generator that came here to work and to engage their very creative energy, to engage with building, with the form. This is about the form. You don't build spirits, you build the form. So if we look at this picture of a very good friend of mine, she's an amazing artist. This picture is called Ecstasy. And for me, this picture shows us what does it mean for a generator to manifest through their response. Because the not-self generator, and all of us, actually, all of us, we just run around in the not-self world. We run around with our minds, and we have ideas about how we want to manifest ourselves, what is our fulfillment in this world, and we are running after what we are not, and trying to get things, and running after and chasing life. But the truth is that the most authentic manifestation, the most authentic connection to the inner truth is listening to a sacred response. And I'm blessed now that I have a few amazing generators in my life, and most of them are sacred generators or MGs. So I can really feel and hear the sacred in the moment, and having my sacred center totally open, I can really feel this response, and I can really feel the authenticity that comes in this response. It doesn't matter if it's a aha or I don't care. I just love feeling the truth, this inner truth that comes from this amazing response. And for a generator, because it is the yinest of all types and represent this yinest of all quarters, the true manifestation can come only from the body, from the form itself, from the response of the form to life. And the generator is just a symbol, because we are all receptive and we are all responding to life this way or another. The manifestors that I know, and I'm blessed, I'm really blessed, because I also have some amazing manifestors in my life, and they are all so receptive. They have no idea of this power. I mean, yes, they are told that they are powerful, and they can see the impact, but they just are not connected consciously to this impact. And they are waiting, as all of us, even if they are splenic, they wait for life to initiate them, and then they can set things in motion, because this is their mechanic role. As the generator role is to respond and start building something, the manifestors, they set things in motion when life pushes them to do this. And I'm so happy that I have the opportunity just to observe it, because until you see how it works, you don't get it. You can understand only your type. And this is also depends, but you can understand yourself, because we are, every one of us is different. Every generator is unique. Every projector is unique. So, but I just have this great opportunity to watch people, and it's unbelievable. It's just beautiful to see how life moves all of us. And the strategy, which is very important, you know my point of view about strategy. It is the variation of the way we respond to life, because we are all receptive. So we have this beautiful example of this ecstasy, this drawing, this painting is called Ecstasy. We can see the ecstasy of the life force, which represented for me here through my eyes. I see the life force represented as the horse. And this generator, this being is responding to life. Her mind, we can see, is not active. She responds to what comes, and that's her manifestation. That's her fulfillment. This is where her inner truth takes her. So we can really take, we can really be inspired by this drawing and see how all we have to do is just surrender to this receptivity that we all have. This receptivity is the higher knowing of our design. All of us have this higher knowing. It doesn't matter if we have the second gate activated or not. We all have this magnetic monopole in us, and this higher knowing of where to go. And what we need to do is just sit in the back seat and relax and trust that life will initiate us. Life will direct us. And really all we have to do is relax. And then when the time is correct, the action, the creativity, the self-expression will just be expressed and manifested through our design in the correct way. So I really felt so inspired by these inspirations that came to me, and looking at this picture, that I really wanted to share this amazing piece of art with you. And the name of the artist is Michal Shimoni. She is an Israeli artist, and she also teaches all kind of beautiful techniques of teaching and self-healing together, painting and self-healing together. This is very, very unique. This is her website, and you can also find her on Michal Shimoni Art on Facebook. She's an amazing Sleeping Phoenix MG, very inspiring. And that's it for this week. Let's celebrate this quarter of civilization in honoring on our form, in taking good care of our form, and seeing how can we surrender more and more to our higher knowing, which is so receptive, and things will unfold for us. There is no one on this planet that will not be manifested. Thank you. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.